This is a bonus video. When I was shooting the last video and assembling it, I found copies of the Paddle North series, which I made in 2011 or 12 to document my trip on the Inside Passage. So in the last video, we talked about the Inside Passage. In the process, I found the footage from the Inside Passage, at least the completed videos. I don't have the raw footage anymore. But I decided it was a good time to upload it to YouTube. It was on another service, and I strung the 3 episodes together. They run about 15 minutes. If you want to see what it's like to paddle 350 miles of Alaskan coast, this is what it looks like. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, and here is Paddle North.
I first heard about the Inside Passage trip when I met Brett about 5 years ago, and at that point I couldn't commit. Just about 6 weeks probably before the trip, we actually embarked on the trip, Brett had contacted me saying, "Do you want to reconsider?" And I thought, yeah, I want to reconsider. It all came together pretty quickly after that.
It was probably 10 months of work leading up to the day where I got to get in the car and drive to Alaska. I absolutely hate customs. I hate customs.
And this did have, tell me if you felt this way, it had a little bit of a race feel to it.
Yes.
We had a set time limit. We had to be at a ferry at a certain time. And so particularly for probably the first half, we were looking at distances covered and time remaining pretty diligently. And
like it was a little bit of a race. I feel like we needed to like really go for it. That I just kind of go, and sometimes I get stressed about things that maybe I don't need to be stressed about. And in hindsight, was that stress helpful, or could we have just known that okay, we have to keep moving and it will get done?
And that's sort of the thing that people don't realize, is that the boat gets to the shoreline, and then you've got to get all of the gear up above the next high tide line and the boats. So I think we calculated we carried the boats something like 8 miles in the course of 18 days of paddling.
And that was conservative.
Yeah, it's probably conservative.
Could be upwards of 17. Typical day for Brett and I has been getting up anywhere between 4 and 5 and being on the water anywhere between 5:30 and 7:30. There have been a couple low moments of just being cold and wet, like totally drenched.
To 15 miles per hour. Strongest wind south of Juneau.
And then we found this nice camp area, which isn't really established at all. I don't know if anyone's ever camped here before, except for some bears for sure.
This is where our tent is, where we're going to sleep tonight. This is our tent. But this is where they'll sleep for the night, all closed up, tied together. And Sarah is making some hot water for soup. Right, Sarah?
Right.
Mornings are tough. You're getting out of a warm bag. You know you're going to be wet most of the day.
For me, this trip can be defined in just being out in the wilderness with a goal, and being able to be really present and really focused on that. And in this case, it was just heading north.
End of our first day of paddling, and it was a really good day. Day one was quick and beautiful, and today is a slog. The only place that it's blowing at 15 knots is right here.
We were thinking if we could be on the water 4:30, then we could have a bunch of hours. I hopefully cross our fingers with not a headwind.
Southeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour.
We're gonna get up super early tomorrow and bang out 20 miles. It's 3 o'clock weather, but we've still got the same wind. Looks like it's gonna be another sloggy day on the water. Hours later, this is Meyers Chuck.
Sending an okay message to people that are on the list. Maybe you.
Maybe you. Probably not. This is Wrangell, Alaska. We paddle north until it's time to go to sleep, and then we get up and we paddle north some more.
Started off beautiful, dead flat calm. And then it got pretty strong, rounding a couple of points, and up ahead of us is Cape Fanshawe. And we would like it to be calm for that because it's a pretty prominent point.
Has some ailments this morning. I've had a sore throat for 2 days. Yesterday. Sarah now has a sore throat. It's taking its toll.
Just did a securite advising the captain of the Carnival Spirit that we are here, and he said he'd keep us on his starboard side. So we're going to hold position until this big cruise ship goes past us.
8:52, and the light was so beautiful that Sarah and I thought we would go for a little paddle. That and the massive brown bear that was on top of our kayaks as we were trying to fall asleep. So we need to find a new home, with the good news being that Juneau is only 28 miles away. The water is not cooperating. Overpriced hotel in Juneau for 2 days, and I had been feeling a little under the weather for the couple days leading up to that. And then yesterday I got fever and chills and essentially the flu. We have 85 miles left. The last 85 were supposed to be a gimme, and I'm completely in a fog. Point Louisa, Juneau, it's back that way. 55.5 miles to Haines, Alaska. 13 miles to the right of that, Skagway.
We're in a little bit of a shit sandwich. These woods have bears in them. Is this, which is a small craft advisory, 25 knot winds. Keep this way. We get killed on the water. This way, we get killed on the land by the bears.